Hey everybody, Captain Marty here on Monday, November the 11th. We had a pretty darn good weekend of fishing. We had the reports are all very, very similar in their content. I'll tell you more about that when I come back in just a second. Are you ready for a fishing thrill like no other?
Oh, there he is! There he is! Oh, got him up!
As seen on Wicked Tune in Outer Banks, the Carolina Girl, captained by majestic Jesse Anderson, is a custom, luxurious 53-foot Jarrett Bay built boat running out of Hatteras Harbor Marina. Let Jesse and her crew give you a fishing experience of a lifetime. Book a trip, go online to CarolinaGirlSportFishing.com. Carolina Girl Sport Fishing, your offshore adventure awaits.
Electricity, something I don't mix well with at all, and that's why I only trust the folks at ELS OBX. ELS OBX offers a variety of services from custom electrical installations to lighting design. ELS OBX has the experience and know-how to complete any job. They're committed to providing the highest quality lighting and electrical installations or service at affordable prices. Visit them online at elsobx.com to get a brighter idea of how shockingly awesome they are. See what I did there? ELS OBX, electrical and lighting solutions you can count on.
So as I mentioned, we'll lump our Hatteras and Oregon Inlet and probably Ocracoke offshore reports together because they're very, very similar. When the boats got out, they had really good blackfin tuna fishing. I was talking to Dickie Harris last night, and he was telling me he was in a spot where they caught him really good on the Fantastic. That's Dickie's charter boat out of the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center, but other people not so lucky. However, the other people found a spot where there was really good mahi or dolphin fishing, mostly the bailers, the 3 to 5 pounders, and they had really good fishing. So that went on. The same kind of thing in Hatteras. Blackfin tunas and a few mahi, especially if you could find something floating. There's been the last of the wahoos this year. Every day I'm seeing a couple caught in the fleet instead of a couple caught on every boat. Both fleets have the availability of king mackerel. That's plan B for some boats. And let me tell you, don't turn your nose up listening to this report about king mackerel. Maybe if you're a glory fisherman, gotta have a tuna or a mahi or a wahoo, you might be missing out on something really good. A fresh king mackerel, excellent. And my friend Mike was given a fresh king mackerel fillet, and I told him how to do a butterfly steak. Now you can buy a fresh king mackerel fillet right now at any of our local fish houses. You take that fillet and it'll have the skin still on it. They don't really have scales, so they leave it with the skin on. Lay it skin side down on a table and cut a 2-inch section of that fillet. All right, so you're skin side down, you got a 2-inch section of that fillet. At the 1-inch mark, in other words, midway on that fillet, cut down to the skin but not through the skin. Stop. So you got a 2-inch piece of fillet that's scored in the middle right down to the skin but stopping. Then when you pick that up, fold it back on itself. The meat will fold around and that little piece of skin in the middle holds it together and you get what's called a butterfly steak. Really a great way to cook a fresh king mackerel. Now what I do with that is I'll dip it in an egg batter, put some bread with whatever my favorite breading is, and I'll pan fry it really good, or you can do that in an oven as well. And it is truly a king mackerel steak, but the vertebrae is not in the middle of it like it is when you cut all the way down through a whole steak. And it's really easy. Your fork will peel them right off. Don't turn your nose up at a king mackerel. That's a great way of doing them. But that's what happened. One boat in the Oregon Inlet fleet caught a blue marlin and 2 white marlin, but that was the rare catch. There's only one other white marlin caught in the whole fleet. So that's what's happening with our offshore fleet. Now, when we talk about surf fishing and pier fishing, there's been some really good sheephead fishing. Congratulations to Bryson P. That's his initial. He's a young kid. Looked like he's about 9 years old. From Richmond. He caught a 6.5-pound sheephead in the surf. And it's a little unusual to catch sheephead in the surf because they usually hang around the structure like pylons on a pier or jetties, things like that. But good going for him. And while we are talking about surf fishing, the 66th annual Cape Hatteras Anglers Club Tournament, annual Invitational surf fishing tournament wound up on Friday with the team competition. In case you're wondering, the overall competition was won by the Outer Banks Sport Fishers, and number 2 was the Sons of Blackbeard. Number 3 was the team One More Cast. As far as the ladies go, The number one team was the Sand Bunnies. They held on to win that category. Then followed by the Virginia Beach Anglers Club ladies, and then number 3, the Fins and Grins. And if you want to see all of the information about that tournament, one of the most famous and oldest tournaments in the world, and also one of the hardest to get into, go to CHAC. That stands for Cape Hatteras Angler Club. CHACtournament.com, and you can click on the tabs there and see all of the standings. And thanks to Tony Lombardi, not only for keeping me informed, but also for volunteering the whole week to go down there and judge that tournament up and down the beach. So that one is in the books now. Pier fishing, there's still a lot of piers open. Puppy drum, black drum, some of the last bottom fish of the summer, and some good blue fishing for those 2 to 3 pound bluefish, and some a little bit bigger than that. So plenty of action in the weekend report. I'll take a little break right here, and I'll be right back to talk to you about backcountry fishing.
When it comes to finding phenomenal seafood, you gotta go insane. That's right, stop into the Insane Seafood Market right there on Highway 64 in Columbia. Luke Midget and his crew work hard out on the water to make sure you have the freshest selection of seafood around. They provide a wide selection of fish, crabs, shrimp, oysters, and clams, just to name a few. Insane Seafood has a hot bar to satisfy that seafood craving right on the spot. Visit them online at insaneseafood.com and like them on social media. Go insane at Insane Seafood Market, Highway 64 in Columbia.
This part of our report sounds like a broken record, but that's the kind of broken record we like. That's a good problem for us to have, but we'll change it up a little bit and talk about sheephead fishing, or sheep's head as the book says, but I'm from Florida originally, and that's the way they say it down there, sheephead. Really good sheephead fishing, especially our guide boats out of Hatteras. I don't know where they're going, but they are really doing well. Now, this is a great eating fish. They're black and white striped. They're in the porgy family, and they're very, very good eat. White, firm flesh meat. Best thing to catch them on is a fiddler crab or a live crab, but there are other choices like sand fleas and different things. I'm probably a little bit outdated on the technique, but sheephead fishing really good with a lot of boats limiting out on those. There's also good blue fishing in the Sound, and the ones I'm seeing are mostly those same, a little bit bigger than the ones on the piers, but they're like 3 to 5 pounders, and nobody's complaining about how good the blue fishing has been. And most everything I'm talking to you about right now is done by boat. And if you don't have a boat where you can get out in the Sound, there are plenty of people that would love to have someone helping with the gas. And you ask around at your local tackle shops, or you can go with one of our backcountry guides. But if you do go on your own, this is the time of year when cold fronts roll in on you unexpectedly sometimes, and you need to make sure that people know you're out there, where you're at, when you're going to be back. So file your float plan and do that. You do not do that with the Coast Guard. You do it with someone that will follow up with you and let them know what time you're planning on being back to the dock. Trust me, I have got lots of stories about people that spent the night drifting around in the Sound half scared to death when their motor broke down and their battery went dead on their phone. And it's always good to make that a priority on your preparation. There's also very good speckled trout fishing in the Sound. The fish are small right now, but there are plenty of them, especially in the western Pamlico. So that is pretty much our fishing report for this Monday, and we'll keep you posted through the week as things develop. Had a great weekend. Bear season came in, and you were saying what? And I said the black bear season in these four northeastern coastal counties have the largest population of black bears in the United States, and some of the biggest. Now, I personally saw one that was 570 at a check-in station, and I heard of another one that was 505. Keep in mind, we get some up and over 700 pounds. I have not seen one of those, and actually, for most of the people I talked to, it was a little bit on the slow side. But the bear population is exploding in this area. There's a whole bunch of reasons for that, which I don't need to get into right now. But that is, duck season came in as well. I did hear a little bit of shooting in the impoundments. A little bit hard to sleep in on a Saturday morning when you're surrounded by duck impoundments. But all's good. Holidays are coming up. It's time to put some wild food in the freezer and get ready for Thanksgiving, just like the Pilgrims did. I hope you have a blessed day, and look out for your fellow man.